Hey guys, it's Monica at Academic Phoenix Plus, and welcome to a rigging tutorial where we are going to be adding extra influences to our rig that we created using AccuRig and Maya's Human IK. If you are new to this channel, I post 3D tutorials on a weekly basis. Software includes Maya, ZBrush, Substance Painter, and so much more. If that is your sort of thing, please consider subscribing. So bring out your creativity, open up that software, and let's go ahead and get started in adding influences to this rig so that we have more control over our character's animation. All right, so here she is in all her glory. And one of the things that I want to tackle is her ponytail along with a couple of other pieces. So the first thing we need is joints. So let's go to the side view, and I am going to go into rigging. So go to the pull down menu for rigging. Let's go to skeleton and create a joint, and let's go to the options. I'm going to reset my settings so they look exactly like yours. And usually what I do, and I explained that in the introduction to rigging, is that I change my joints. So no matter how far away or how close the joints are, they all remain the same bone size. Now I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to go to 0.3 to 0.3. And that being said, let's go ahead and plug in some joints. So I'm going to plug one here, 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 and here. So 4 joints. Let's turn this on. And next, it's really important to label them. So all the way at the bottom, let's hit that plus sign. And this is going to be hair underscore joint 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oops, I don't know why the numbers aren't changing. That's really odd. Usually by default, they change. So just make sure everything's labeled correctly. All right, let's bring out the joints. I can't see them. So here we are. Those are the joints. The next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we add influence to our model. So right now we have these joints, and we want to make sure that it influences this ponytail. But we also want to make sure that it follows these joints. So the way we can do that is that we are going to select this controller, shift select the joints, and then do a constraint parent. Go to the options and make sure maintain offset is on, and then add. So you know you did it right when you select this joint and it's turned blue, which means it's constrained to something. And this something is this controller. So now when you notice, when you move the head, so does the ponytail, which is exactly what we want. Now the issue though is that I want my ponytail to move with the controller. So what we're going to do is select all of the joints, all the new joints down here at the bottom, select them all, then shift select the hair. So what we're going to do is go to skin, and we're going to head all the way to the bottom to edit influences and then add influences. So now what that means is that my ponytail is now pursuing it. Now I forgot to add extra geometry on there, so let me undo that. And make sure you select all the extra mesh that you want. So I want to select that one, and I also want to select this one. And I think that was it. So let's try that again. We're going to go to skin, edit influence, and then add influence. So now when I select the joint, I can rotate it, and there it goes, which is awesome. Now, it doesn't have much geometry. That's why it's a little bit breaking. So if you want to have a better deformation, I'm probably going to smooth the mesh, and I will once I start finishing the textures. Okay, now the thing is that we don't want to animate the joints. We want to be able to hide the joints and then animate the controllers. So let's create some controllers. We're going to go to curves, create a circle, which is going to find all the way down here. And then I'm going to hold down, I'm using the move tool. If you hold down V, which stands for vertex, middle mouse and snap. So this one confuses people. V, middle mouse, and then click and drag, middle mouse drag. It will snap it to the joint. And then I can use this as my controller. Right, so it's important that you always center the pivot, delete the history, freeze your transformations. And we're going to relabel this one as hair 1 control. I'm going to duplicate it, go Control D, snap it here. Make sure it's in the center. Maybe rotate it. There we go. Do it again. This is going to be hair 2. Maybe I should call it ponytail. Oh well. Duplicate it again, Control V, snap it here, make it smaller. And this is going to be number 3. Okay, let's make sure that everything is looking good. Select, select, select. Again, just delete the history, freeze the transformations, all of that stuff. And then we're going to constrain them. Select a controller, shift select a joint, and let's go ahead and constrain parent. And let's continue doing that to the other ones. I'm going to click the letter G, which just makes it faster. And voila, we now have controllers for our ponytail. Whoop. you'll notice that it's not really acting appropriately. That's because these guys are not parented to each other. So that's the next step. Here we go. It's over here. Let me get rid of that one. And now I'm going to middle mouse and drag it. Bink. So that parents it to that. And then number 3 is going to go to number 2. And now we have 1, 2, and 3. So if I move number 1, it will move the joint. If I grab number 2, it will move the other ones. And then there you go. We now have our object. Of course, if I select this, you'll notice that it breaks. So once again, we're going to find out where that's located. It's called the head effector. Let's grab this, drag it into the head effector, and then we can move it around as well. Ta-da! So now that one's there. This has its own influence. That has its own influence, and it looks like it's good. Awesome. Now we want to make sure these joints are part of this layer. Select your joints, right click, add selected object, and now they disappear. So we only the controllers, which is really great. So we're going to do something similar to this portion here. And you want to go to the side view, and we're going to do it again. Let's create the joints. I'm going to start here, 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 and then here. That's probably too many. Let's just go make it simpler for me. And just go a little simpler. There we go. Let's move this here. And as you can see, 0.3 seems to be really big. So I'm going to choose select hierarchy again and change this to like a 0.1. There you go. That looks good. And just double check everything fits accordingly. That looks good. Then select the hair. And then we're going to go to skin. Edit influences, add influence. So now when I grab this one, right, I need to do some painted weights, but now the hair follows the joint. Let me duplicate that chain and move it over. And I haven't labeled. So let's go back over here and let's make sure we label everything. So this is going to be, I don't know, front hair left 1. Not the greatest labeler in the world, or however you want to say that. But as long as it works, right? And this is her left, so this is going to be her right. So I'm going to replace R, R2, R3, and R4. Awesome. All right, we're going to do the same. Let's make sure it's placed correctly. Now this one may need a little rotation just so that it fits with according to the geometry. And anytime you make any changes, make sure you delete the history, freeze your transformations, except for the translate. The translate doesn't need to be frozen, but rotating into scale definitely does. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to select our joints here. We're going to shift select the hairband, and then the rest of her hair. And again, we're going to go to skin, edit influence, add influence, and now you can see that it's connected. Yay. There's a little painted weight issues, but there you go. Now that we are done with the joints, the next part is to create the controllers. And it's up to you. You can use the circle. You can create your own using curves. I'm going to be using a circle and altering it to make it look unique. Because why not? Might as well make this tutorial really fun. Let's grab some control vertices and make it look something like this. There you go. Cool. I'm going to snap it. Snap. Make it really small. Make sure it's actually in the joint. That's the most important part. So again, V, middle mouse, and snap. Does this make sense to the controller? It looks like she's being stabbed. Hopefully you guys get the idea. And we duplicate it and snap it again. Right there, I'm V middle mousing and dragging, and sometimes it's a little challenging to get it right smack in the center of the, there it goes. And then another one, duplicate that one. Oh, that was the easiest one. And I'm not gonna put one at the bottom because they don't need it. All right, let's again, make sure you center the pivot, delete the history, freeze the transformations. This is going to be her hair left control, hair 1 left control, hair 2 left control, and then hair 3 left control. Let's go ahead and parent them. There you go. And then we're going to constrain it. Select a controller. Well, actually, let me just duplicate this. Let me duplicate this controllers, and then I'm going to snap it over here and snap it over here. Let me try that again. And then double check to make sure these are actually inside the space, because that's going to be important. The pivot point has to be inside the joint. Wow. And then, of course, double check to make sure it's actually inside the joint, because that could cause a lot of issues. All right, let's see. Okay, that looks good. Let me confirm this one. Yep. And then finally the bottom one. All right, there it is. Cool. And I need to replace the L's with the R's. So should be pretty easy. R, R, and R. All right, time to constrain. Select the controller, then the joint, and then constrain parent. Then I'm going to click the letter G, which is the last command. G, controller, controller, joint, G, controller, joint, joint, G, controller, joint, G, controller, joint, G. All right. Let's see. Yay. Well, let's take the controllers, select the head control, and then click on the letter P, which is going to parent it. So now wherever this goes, it goes with it. And they can be independently animated. Painted weights. Select the mesh. We want to go to skin, paint weights, and then of course we want to go to the options, and you want to select the front hair, and you can see all of our joints. And we want to have a little bit less influence. So let's go ahead and we want to replace with about 0.5. Let's make our brush a little smaller. Reduce the radius here, so about 0.3. Maybe a little smaller, 0.1. We can start painting away some of the influence. So the effect is that I actually wanted to just affect here and not so much the rest of the hair. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, 0.2, so I can get a bigger brush, and then you can paint that in. Now I do want to probably eliminate most of the motion around here. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint it in, because the reality is that I just want the influence to be affecting. So black means that and again, I recommend that you watch my video tutorials on this, but black means that it has no influence, and white means that it has the influence. So I actually do want influence around here. And then after I did that, I go to smooth and then flood, so that it kind of has a nice transition. And then I can go back to replace and paint out the stuff that I don't want, especially around this corner, and so on and so forth. So then I can go ahead and go to the front of the hair, and you can see that it also is influencing it. So I'm going to go in and replace it again with less, because I really wanted to be not affected by that. And that one's good, and then that one's good. So let's confirm. Let's grab this, and actually it looks fine. So that's good. And then we can grab the controller, and you can see how it's impacting. It still has a little bit of influence here, but you can see that it's working. Painting weights is working. So moving on, let me select this mesh here, and we're going to go ahead, and you can either appear at the top again, which is skin, paint weights tools, or you can always click the previous tool here. And let's go back all the way up to the top. This is the front. This is joint number 2, and I definitely want some influence. So instead of replace, I'm going to add. And I'm just going to add a little bit of influence to around this area, because I do in fact want that to be influenced. Let me check number 1. Yep, that's correct. Number 3, that looks good, and so on and so forth. So again, I like to go through and just go to smooth flood, and that helps with the transitions of each of the joints. And then we would repeat that to the other side. So let me grab the mesh, select. I'm going to select all of them, grab the tool. We're grabbing the front hair. You can see how much influence it has. Let's replace it with 0 and paint, 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 replace value of, oops, sorry, increase the opacity to 1, change the value to 0. And that's why it wasn't working. Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and paint this in, or paint this out. So again, anything black is going to have very little influence or 0 influence. The idea is 0, and then over here, again, I don't want any influence from these joints, so we're painting those out. Double check here. Okay, good. And then I like to go to smooth and then flood. Let me check this one. That looks good. And smooth flood and flood. All right. Let's grab some joints. Make sure they're in this layer and we can hide them. And I think we did it. All right, awesome. And by the way, this is really helpful if you guys are interested, if she has any assets, like for example, this belt, I could add the joints. If there were bags and you wanted to animate the bags separately, so there's like a secondary action and things like that. So this gives you the ability to not only auto rig this relatively fast, you can also add influences and joints into your character so that you can animate it to your heart's content. So don't be limited to just what the rig gives you. This can be added and improvised. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment below. If you like this video and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. That is your message to me, letting me know exactly that you want to see more content like this. Feel free to share this video for the ones who followed my previous video tutorial on how to quickly rig your character so that they know how to add influences to basically any type of rig out there. So again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to take a look at academicphoenixplus.com. There you can find free resources such as 3D models, reference images, ebooks, and so much more. So take a look at academicphoenixplus.com. Thank you again for watching. Keep creating, and I will see you next time in the next video tutorial.